how's everybody doing? I'm Mr. Yansak. I'm walking down E Hall here in an empty school. One last week. E Hall's a good hall. It has some nice views of foothills and the golf course. My room normally would be right down here at the end of the hall, E116. However, this year, like you, we're going to be hanging out at home for the fall, and we're going to be doing the whole remote thing together. And I'm just going to try to help you understand a little bit of what's going on. But this is me, Mr. Yansak, and let me show you some stuff on the computer. Hey, welcome to my computer desktop in the year of the mask. I'm Mr. Yansak, and all of this information can be found on Charger Pride, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. A little bit about me. I am now teaching in my 25th year at Chatfield. I think that makes me the fourth longest existing teacher here. I went to CU for my undergraduate and UNC to get my master's in math. I went to Bear Creek, so I've kind of spent a lot of time in Jefferson County growing up. I wasn't born in Colorado, but I've been here a long time. I've got a wife and two daughters, and there they are. This, of course, was last year's vacation because we canceled our summer vacation this year. I'm sure some of you guys did the same thing. We did sneak up to Vail for a couple nights. Nice and quiet and empty, but Ellen's going into 5th grade and is going into kindergarten. Going into kindergarten on a hybrid or a remote schedule. Interesting, right? We have a puppy who's now 1. This is her last year when we thought she was really only going to be 35 pounds. That's what the rescue told us. Now she's 60 pounds, and she basically sleeps on my children. So she thinks she's a lap dog. She just doesn't realize she's not. Big music fan. Back in the 80s and 90s, accumulated many CDs. I probably have around 3,000 today. Of course, in the 2000s, nobody bought CDs anymore because everybody was doing MP3s, and now it's not cool to buy CDs because vinyl is what everybody wants. But hey, what can you do, right? Music is music. I certainly do love skiing when I get a chance. Why not if you live in Colorado, right? By the way, that's not me. Make sure you know Charger Pride. It has so much information and links. If you've been going to Chatfield, you know all about it. If you're a freshman coming in or a transfer student, please make sure you bookmark chargerpride.com because it is very good for resources. There's also a free app you can get that has mostly general information, schedules, and it has calendars with events and contact information, but it's free, so I might as well throw it on your phone. If you are watching this video, you must be either taking Algebra 1 with me, which is the fundamental high school math class, probably the most important one you'll ever take because it lays the foundation of the skills you must have for every other course. But you might be taking geometry. Geometry is probably the most versatile and useful math class to have because you use geometric principles all the time. Like, for example, this summer I was building a deck. I was doing some landscaping. My wife was doing some work with some carpet inside. All of those required us to use geometric principles with lengths and areas to be able to solve those problems. Algebra 2 is the launch pad into higher level mathematics. Algebra 2 is going to take you into the upper level, the advanced math classes like statistics and trigonometry and calculus. So all of these go together to make the high school math trifecta. These are what every student should have coming out of high school or being ready to move into higher level math. And you're taking one of them, so good deal, right? Algebra 1, geometry, and Algebra 2. Homework, quizzes, exams, and final, those are kind of the 4 classic categories. I may add one in this year on participation, because remote participation is so important. You can disappear so quickly and when you're not actually going to class, and then it's really hard to get caught up. So please engage every day that you're supposed to be meeting with us, and do the assignments, and come to the office hours and ask questions when I have them. And you just must participate and put some effort into it. If you don't, remote environment, you can really fall behind quickly, and it's very dangerous. So I may make participation an aspect of your grade this year. Of course, you probably see the schedules. We will be following the same block schedule, Monday through Thursday, that all the hybrid students will be following. Looks like Monday, Wednesdays are kind of algebra days, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are geometry days. I'm not going to make you come and sit on a Zoom or Google Meet with me for an hour and a half. That doesn't make any sense. But I will check in with you each day that we have class, at least for the first 10 minutes. I'll let you ask questions that maybe I can answer from the previous assignment. I'll let you know what the next topics are going to be, and where we're moving. And then I'll set you free to watch the lesson videos, or do the technology activities, or work on the homework during that time. The expectation is that you do spend that time working on the class that you're in. Unlike the spring, where it was asynchronous and you were just kind of doing whatever, whenever. This is supposed to be synchronous learning. You're supposed to be learning during the time period when you're supposed to have that class. Fridays, oh, by the way, I probably will bring you back at the end of class when I can, for the last 5 minutes, just for questions before we leave. Fridays are those days that are kind of asynchronous. Sometimes I'll have you meet, but a lot of times it'll just be an assignment, or maybe a quiz to take, or something like that. Fridays are kind of change from week to week. Calculators, if you're in Algebra 1 or Geometry, a scientific calculator is plenty. This TI 30X is a good scientific calculator for around $10. It'll do everything you need it to through geometry. However, if you're in Algebra 2, you must have an Inspire for the activities that we're going to be doing. And the old CX is fine if you have an older brother or sister that has one, or if you find one cheap. But the CX2 is the one that came out last year and has a little more functionality. Either one would be fine. If you're in Algebra 1 or Geometry, want one of these, that's fine. You can start to learn it ahead of time, but they're not cheap. So keep that in mind. The difference between the CAS model, right, and the non-CAS model, you see there's nothing here, right, is that the CAS has a computer algebra system kind of built into it. Most people never even use that aspect of it, but the one thing that it prevents you from using it is you can't use this one on the ACT. ACT won't let you use a CAS one, but they will let you use this one. So we usually just ask people, to get this one and play it safe. You can use them both on AP tests and on SAT tests, so that aspect doesn't really matter, but the ACT is a little picky. These usually run from around the 120s all the way up. Never pay more than 150, 160 on these. Like Walmart was trying to sell them for 200 last year. No way. I don't know what the pandemic's done to their availability. So if you do need one of these and you're taking Algebra 2, start looking. But you can see that last year, around 130 bucks, they could be had either on Amazon or Staples. Find the best price you can. Moving on. I would download this app. Okay, it's called Adobe Scan. It's free. You can get it on iPhone. You can get it on the Android phones. But it is the best scanner we found last spring, the most consistent for students scanning their homework assignments and then attaching them back to Google Classroom. And so I would definitely grab that one on your phone, make things easy for you and for me. And then I would get the Google Classroom app, because having it on your phone is kind of nice. You may be doing something and forget, oh, did I have something due? And you don't have to go all the way back and log in on your computer. You can just pull it up on your phone and check and be like, oh, nope, I'm okay, or whatever. So those are my tech suggestions for you. Moving on, let's take a quick look at, let's take a look at chargerpride.com, just so you can see where to find all your teachers, academics, right? Departments is probably the easiest way. So like if you're looking for me, math, if you go to the math department, you'll see the calculators that we just mentioned. You'll see the courses and what to take to get to the place you want to get with the courses. But you also see all the teachers and their websites access right through here. I think the teachers are listed in order of popularity. And I'm in here at the bottom. That's embarrassing. Never mind. The schedules and all information's on here. It also has a really nice page for the restart. A lot of this you don't need to worry about because you're not coming in. We're all remote this semester, but good resource. Google Classroom. If you were at Chatfield last year, you probably used Google Classroom, at least in some of your classes. It seemed when I gave a survey at the end of the year to be much more popular than Schoology. So we're probably going to stick with it. We may use some Schoology stuff from time to time. I've got, well, if I go to my archives, I've got some old classes. I can kind of show you the way that they would look. I guess it won't move me to my archive. Oh, they're there. So like here's an honors geometry class from last spring. Of course, the stream is where you get your general information. The classwork's probably the most important tab where you get your assignments. If I have a PDF, you have to print and work on. The online quizzes and tests will be listed here. Most importantly, video lectures. The lectures will be included here for you to find and watch. That's the main way you're going to be getting your lessons, is through videos. So I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with Google Classroom, and if you're not, don't worry. It's pretty simple and we'll get down to it. By the way, I have here the classes set up. You can see here, period 1 is algebra, periods 3 and 4 are algebra 2, and then geometry 6 and 7. Those course codes are going to be able to be found on a page that you'll have access to with all the teachers' course codes. You should have that soon, and I'll start posting to those classrooms on Monday when we meet. So you'll probably want to log in on Monday. We'll probably have our first Google Meet. All right. So anyway, I think that's all you need to know from this angle. And let's move on.
So if you have any questions after all of that, that's probably more information than you ever wanted. Sorry for the length. I just try to be real thorough. Reach out, let me know. I'd be happy to answer your emails or anything and try to get back to you. But I think we're going to be meeting up Monday or Tuesday, I guess, if you're in geometry, and talking live. So I'll be putting some information into your Google Classrooms with links, and I look forward to seeing everybody for our first session. Enjoy your last weekend of freedom, and it's gonna be a crazy ride this fall, but I think we'll be all right. All right, take care.